Fellas, gonna keep it a buck with you, this has been one of the worst metas since the inception of Overwatch. Throughout my years of playing the game, it can be argued we have never seen hero balance this bad. However, what if I told you guys that Blizzard artificially creates character imbalance on purpose? In today's video, I'm going to discuss how Blizzard intentionally balances the game, why balance relates to Blizzard's agenda, and answer the question of why Mauga Meta was created on purpose in Overwatch 2. Now, before we get into this, I first need to describe what Mauga Meta of Overwatch 2 is. I want to make this easy to understand. Mauga Meta contains two parts, Mauga and Meta. Let's dissect what meta actually means. In simple terms, the best or most effective way to win games, no matter if you're a competitive player trying to climb through the ranks, or a casual quick play player. In terms of Overwatch, the meta, or most effective tactic available, oftentimes revolves around the strength of particular heroes inside of the game. In this case, the game-breaking strength of Mauga is the topic of discussion. This comes from the character in Overwatch 2, Mauga, and his unfathomable balance that Blizzard has intentionally created. Mauga not only is arguably one of the easiest heroes in the game to play, he poses up an average 55% win rate across all ranks, with some top 500 players having over a 75% win rate with Mauga. While also having some of the highest win rates, Mauga is also seeing some of the highest pick rates of any tank right now. This shows that he is being favored over every other tank. Mauga is the most recent character to Overwatch 2, in which can make him one of the most talked about characters in terms of how his kit will function inside of the game and interact with the rest of the hero lineup. Mauga's kit provides a well-rounded ebb and flow gameplay style. He can be picked in almost every situation over the likes of other tanks. He has unmatched survivability and his absolutely massive damage output. These gameplay mechanics make Mauga an unmatched tank in any game he is a part of. But what if I said this was being done on purpose? I want to bring into the picture previous hero releases of Overwatch 2, Halzeey, Lifeweaver, and especially Ramattra. A case can be made for all three of these heroes in some way they were quote-unquote broken on release. However, specifically Ramattra was at the time of his release the most overpowered hero in the entire game. This is because his ultimate ability had no duration and could last infinitely as long as he was dealing damage with it. But that's besides the point. The point is that there is a reoccurring pattern with releases from Blizzard into Overwatch 2. Initially, the character will receive buffs before making it to the live servers, and usually these buffs make the character so incredibly overpowered that the entire game's balance typically revolves around the character. Now, this was especially true in the case of Ramattra, and now we're on to Mauga. But I still need to answer the biggest question of the video. Why? Why are characters so broken on release? Now, before we answer this question, it's important to understand the simple concept of hero balance in Overwatch 2. Pre-existing characters in Overwatch undergo hero balance in a systematic cycle. Typically, characters go through phases where they are either extremely broken for a couple of patches, and then they are nerfed and never seen again until 6 months later. Why does this happen? Blizzard intentionally balances the game in a specific way that is designed for the monetization of their game. They artificially make certain heroes strong and certain heroes weak. Having heroes that are strong or weak will influence different cosmetics that people buy. If a character is strong, players will be more inclined to buy a skin for the character they are constantly playing. If a character is weak, people will be less inclined to buy a skin they are playing. This is an ebb and flow system inside of Overwatch 2's balance, in which is created for the monetization of the game. After 6 months, when the cycle repeats itself, there will be new skins and new players looking to buy skins for their now overpowered character that they spend most of their game time playing. This is Blizzard's agenda. They balance the game around reselling skins, artificially creating characters that are strong and characters that are weak due to their monetization patterns. This is another reason why we will never see quote-unquote perfect balance where every hero is viable in Overwatch 2. However, it's not to say this doesn't work in the player's favor, because if the game did experience perfect balance, the game would inevitably become stale if no balance changes were made to the game. So it works in a cycle. A character may be strong for a couple of patches, and then they become weak for about 6 months. But eventually that character will start to make a comeback, and then their skins will be able to resell again. Mauga Meta artificially being created by Blizzard is not as simple as just reselling a couple of cosmetic skins. Let me put this in simple terms that's easy to understand for you guys. With every new season of Overwatch 2, there's either a skin or a hero included in the Battle Pass. Now, what is the Battle Pass to Blizzard? The Battle Pass is a monetization system. Fellas, Blizzard isn't stupid. Think about it for a second. From Blizzard's point of view, why would they release an underpowered character into their battle pass? Genuinely think about that. It doesn't make any sense for Blizzard to do that. If a hero is underpowered or considered weak on release, this could heavily impact the sales of the character, which ultimately affects their profits. The battle pass, which is accessible for most people and comes in at a reasonable price, if the character that they put into this battle pass is weak, nobody would buy it. But on the flip side of this, if the character they create is absolutely broken on release that you can only access by buying the battle pass, this will heavily increase the profits for the company. Now, because of this, I would place a very solid argument that Mauga being overtuned on release is definitely 100% intentional. Guys, Blizzard has been around for almost 2 decades, balancing, updating, and creating video games. Blizzard is a for-profit company. They 100% know that by creating an overpowered character will definitely sell more than creating an underpowered character. Blizzard knows that players will pay for even the slightest of advantages to have over other players. Now, this is a hidden pay-to-win concept. However, I don't fault Blizzard at all, as they've moved to a free-to-play game, so this is just a way they have to monetize it. Now, with all these points being made, I hope you guys can understand how Blizzard intentionally power creeps the game and decides on the balance, with the main reasons being that it's done primarily for monetization of the game so that Blizzard can create profits for themselves, having a reason to update the game and to keep it fresh, while also selling their battle pass to as many players as possible upon release of their new season. Now, I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on the inevitable Mauga meta that we just had down below in the comments. My personal thoughts, yes, it sucks having to deal with Mauga every single game, but it's just inevitable whenever Blizzard releases a new character. This was 100% done by Blizzard intentionally, so I don't see a reason to complain about it. Mauga has been dominating the game for a couple weeks now, but there is a big unanswered question. At the time of recording this video, Mauga nerfs were just announced to be coming to the mid-season patch. Now, is Mauga still going to be able to dominate the game and be a menace in the meta, even though there's upcoming nerfs coming to him? All the changes to Mauga and how I think it's going to impact the meta can be found in this video linked above. I'm not going to spoil anything, but Blizzard may have done something intentional yet again with these mid-season changes. If you guys enjoyed this video, please just hit that like button and maybe even subscribe while you're down there too. As always, it's free and you can unsubscribe at any time. My name is Halzeey, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.